It's been over 100 days since Taliban swept to power in Afghanistan, and the human rights situation in the country is in doldrums. The new forms of epidemics they are facing are unprecedented unemployment and acute poverty. And despite repeated warnings from international organizations of financial collapse in the country, they have got little to nothing in response. Observers say if the world continues to watch everything like it has done so far, then the country is certainly heading towards a human catastrophe.
Kabul residents say their 100 days after the Taliban takeover have been extremely difficult, with concerns growing over the security and education of girls. They say the Taliban, which had made promises of altering their position with regards to women, have not shown any change since sweeping to power in August. Apart from the unemployment rate that has spiked suddenly, there are expanding shortages of food and money. With US freezing the Afghan money, the situation has only worsened. The United Nations has repeatedly warned since the Taliban took over that Afghanistan's economy is on the brink of a collapse that would likely fuel a refugee crisis, but little have been achieved in that direction.
100 روز به این خاطر به ما مشکل گذشت که ما معاش نداشتیم و دیگه ای که امنیت درست نبود، هنوز هم انتحاری میشه. ما به تشویش هستیم. دیگه اولادای ما هنوز هم دخترها به مکتب نمیرن، درس نیست.
Red Cross has expressed its disappointment over sanctions and donor freezes, which it says are cutting off basic services in Afghanistan, and they called on donors to find creative ways to prevent a massive humanitarian crisis. Afghans say they have no clue as to what their future would be like if the current situation persists for longer time. They say nothing could be predicted under Taliban control.
از نگاه روحی بسیاری مردم تحت فشار قرار دارن، چرا که خیلی ها نگران آینده خودشان است، نمی‌فهمند که خب در آینده چی چیز پیش خواهد آمد. با گفته بعضیا که افغانستان حالا جای شده که عجایب، یعنی هیچ چیز قابل پیش بینی نیست.
One of the Taliban's first acts since taking over the country on 15 August 2021 was to reassure Afghans of their safety. The Taliban announced a general amnesty and said no revenge would be taken in the group's first press conference on 17 August. This was significant given the terror wrought by the Taliban in the past 20 years of conflict and the deeply ingrained memories of the Taliban's first period of rule from 1996 to 2001. However, none of those promises were kept. Reprisal attacks, sanctions on women, hardline Sharia law, and anything even remotely against the Taliban are met with brutality. Since 15th August, the crisis in Afghanistan has been the focus of many international fora, including UN Security Council meetings, the UN Human Rights Council's 31st special session and 48th regular session, and G7 and G20 meetings. However, the international community has thus far failed to chart an adequate path for the protection of rights and to hold perpetrators of human rights violations accountable.